Skippyjon Jones. Every morning, Skippyjon Jones woke up with the birds. And this did not please his mother at all. "Get yourself down here right now, Mr. Kitten Britches," ordered Mama Junebug Jones. "No self-respecting cat ever slept with a flock of birds," she scolded, "or ate worms, or flew, or did his laundry in Mrs. Doohickeys bird bath." The lecture went on and on as usual. "You've got to do some serious thinking before you leave this room, Mr. Fuzzy Pants," said his mother, "about just what it means to be a cat. Not a bird, not a mouse, not a grouse, not a moose, not a goose, not a rat, not a bat. You need to think about what it means to be a Siamese cat. And stay out of your closet," she added, closing the bedroom door. But once he was alone, Skippyjon began to bounce and bounce and bounce on his big boy bed. "Oh, I'm Skippyjon Jones and I bounce on my bed, and once or 6 times I land on my head." And on his way down to earth from a gigantic big bounce, Skippyjon Jones shot past the bedroom mirror. "Holy guacamole!" exclaimed Skippyjon. "What was that?" So up he went again, and again it appeared. Then, using his very best Spanish accent, he says, "My ears are too big for my head. My head is too big for my body. I am not a Siamese cat. I'm a Chihuahua." So back on land, Skippyjon Jones climbed into his toy box and rifled through some of his old junk. After he put on his mask and sword and climbed onto his mouse, Skippyjon Jones began to sing in a muy soft voice. "My name is Skippito Frisquito. I fear not a single bandito. My manners are mellow. I'm sweet like jello. I get the job done, yes indeedo." Back in the kitchen, Jujubee, Jezebel, and Jillyboo Jones were helping Mama Junebug Jones make lunch. "Can Skippyjon come out of his room now?" asked Jujubee. "No," answered Mama Junebug Jones. "Mr. Fluffernutter is still thinking." In fact, Skippyjon wasn't thinking about being no Siamese cat at all. And with a walk into his closet, his thoughts took him down a lonesome desert road far, far away in old Mexico. Not long into his journey, a mysterioso band of Chihuahuas appeared out of the dust. "Ay caramba! Who goes there?" asked Skippyjon Jones. "We go by the name of Los Chimichangas," growled Don Diego, the biggest of the small ones. "And who are you?" "I am El Skippito, the great sword fighter," said Skippyjon Jones. Then the smallest of the small ones spoke up. "Why the mosquito, dude?" said Poquito Tito. "I go incognito," says Skippito. "Do you like rice and beans?" asked Pintalito. "See, I love mice and beans," said Skippito. "He might be the dog of our dreams," whispered Rosarita. "Perhaps," said Tia Mia, "if he knows the secret password." Leaning toward Don Diego, El Skippito half sneezed and half spoke the secret password of into the Chihuahua's very large ear. Chupichu! "Bless you," said Don Diego. "Gracias," said Skippito. "Then it is true," decreed Don Diego. "Yip, yippee, yippito. It's the end of Alfredo Busito. Skippito is here. We have nothing to fear. Adios to the bad bumblebeeto." Then all the chimichangos went crazy loco. First, they had a fiesta, which is like a party. Then they had a siesta, which is like a nap. But after waking up, the chimichangos got down to serious business. Using his paw, Don Diego drew a picture in the sand of the great bumblebeeto for Skippito to see. A hush grew over the chimichangos so great that one could hear a whisker drop. "Alfredo Busito," whispered the crowd. "El blimpo bumblebeeto bandito." "Sí," said Poquito Tito. "The bandito steals our frijoles." Not your beans, cried Skippito, outraged. Sí, Poquito Tito continued. Red beans, black beans, Boston baked and blue, cocoa, coffee, kidney beans, pinto, and jelly too. And now he comes for us, Poquito added. ¿Por qué? asked Skippito. Because we're full of beans too. Then Don Diego stood tall, and his most somber voice declared, Yo quiero frijoles! Huh? asked Skippito. The dude just wants his beans back, said Poquito Tito. And you are the dog for the job. Me? asked Skippito. Then all the chimichangos turned towards Skippito, the great sword fighter. But poor Skippito had no time for a plan, because in the blink of an eye, a gigantic shadow darkened the landscape. The chimichangas scattered in all directions. Vamos, Skippito, or it is you the bandito will eat, they cried. Skippito stood his ground, but his legs shimmied and shook like jello, and his teeth chattered like castanets. Then, in a muy soft voice, he said, My name is Skippito Frisquito. I fear not a single bandito. But Alfredo Busito flew straight for Skippito until the bean-eating bandito hovered only inches from the great sword fighter's face. Holy frijoles, says Skippito, and he thrust his sword in the air. Pop went the banditos, landing on Skippito's sword, and quicker than anyone could say Chihuahua cheese and crackers, every kind of bean came spilling out of Alfredo Busito, the bumblebito bandito. Then all the doggies burst into song. Yip, yippee, yippito. Our hero is El Skippito. He's the dog of our dreams. He delivered the beans, and now we can make our burritos. But back at the house, there was such a ruckus coming from Skippyjon's room that Mama Junebug Jones and the girls just had to find out what was going on. They raced down the hall to the kitty boy's room. Banguito, Crashito, Papito, Skippito! Just in time to see Skippito's closet exploding. Then out flew Candy, beanbag doggies, and the kitty boy with the birthday piñata on his head. Skippyjon Jones, everybody cried. Hola, muchachitas, he said in a muy soft voice. Mama Junebug Jones lifted up Skippyjon and covered his head in furry kisses. What am I going to do with you, Mr. Cocoa Pugs? And that night, when he was supposed to be going to sleep, Skippyjon began to bounce and bounce on his big boy bed. Oh, I'm Skippyjon Jones with a mind of my own, and I'll bounce on my bed for hours. I know I'm a cat, but forget about that. Say good night, Skippyjon Jones, called his mama. Buenas noches, mi amigos, said Skippyjon. And that's the end. Do you guys know how that story relates to the activity we just did? Did Skippyjon do what everybody wanted him to do? He did what he wanted to do, right? And he created his own reality. That whole story about going to Mexico, he made that up in his mind, decided that's what he wanted to be, and that's what it was. So that's what I want for y'all. Even when it seems outrageous and crazy, like somebody can say, you can't make $1 million. Think like Skippyjon, I can do what I want to do. I can create my reality. And that's why I love this story. Okay? So I hope y'all enjoyed it. I know it's a kid's story, but it's kind of funny. Now next we will play the name game. And the name game is where we use Skippyjon and you toss it to somebody and they say the first person's name, their name, and then Skippyjon Jones. And then they pass it to the next person. That person has to remember everybody's name all the way to them and then pass it. Okay? So I'm going to start. I'm Dr. Mitchell, and this is Skippyjon Jones. You got to start with me. Who am I?
Dr. Mitchell.
What's your name?
Jay.
I'm Jay.
Jay.
Who is that?
Skippyjon.
Throw it to one of them. Start with me. That's?
Yes. Dr. Mitchell. Yes. Jay.
And that's?
And this.
Skippyjon Jones.
Yeah.
And throw it to O.
That was my fault.
All right, O, start with me. Dr. Mitchell. J. Quez. I'm for you. And that is?
Skippyjon Jones.
You got it pretty good. Throw it over here to me. All right, we're going to say it all together to make sure we. Oh, well. Skippy. Okay. Let's put his little mask back on. There you go. So we say it all together. That's Dr. Mitchell. That's J. That's Quez. That's O. And this is Skippyjon Jones. So that should help us all remember each other's names. Okay? And it helps me. Definitely.